What if I told you that the child of a disgraced queen would rise to become one of the most powerful rulers in history? That child was Elizabeth, later known as Queen Elizabeth I. Born on a breezy day of September 7, 1533, Elizabeth was the second daughter of King Henry VIII. But her mother was not the reigning queen, Catherine of Aragon. Instead, she was the controversial Anne Boleyn, the woman for whom Henry had uprooted the religious landscape of England to marry. Elizabeth's early life was a tumultuous one. When she was just 2.5 years old, her world was shattered. Her mother, Anne Boleyn, was executed on charges of adultery, treason, and incest. The toddler Elizabeth was declared illegitimate. Her claim to the throne seemingly vanished into thin air. Yet, despite these early hardships, Elizabeth was far from forgotten. She was educated under the tutelage of renowned scholars who honed her intellect and instilled in her a love for learning. She became fluent in multiple languages, including Greek and Latin, and developed a keen interest in religion and philosophy. Throughout her youth, Elizabeth's life was further shaped by the influence of her stepmothers. From Jane Seymour, she learned the virtues of humility and kindness. Anne of Cleves showed her the importance of political alliances. Catherine Howard's tragic fate served as a grim reminder of the dangers of courtly intrigue. And finally, Catherine Parr, who outlived Henry, was a guiding force in Elizabeth's life, encouraging her pursuit of knowledge and nurturing her Protestant faith. Despite the turmoil and uncertainty of her early life, Elizabeth was being forged into a formidable woman, ready to face the challenges of a kingdom. Her childhood taught her resilience, her education equipped her with knowledge, and her stepmother's influence shaped her character. From the ashes of her mother's disgrace, a future queen was rising, ready to etch her name into the annals of history. Imagine being the third in line for the throne, behind a sickly boy and a fervent Catholic. This was Elizabeth's reality. With her father's death, her half-brother Edward VI, a mere child of 9 years, ascended the throne. Edward's reign was marked by a push towards Protestantism, stirring religious unrest throughout the kingdom. Edward's frail health was a constant concern, and as his condition deteriorated, the question of succession loomed large. The throne naturally passed to Mary, Elizabeth's older half-sister, upon Edward's untimely demise. With Mary at the helm, the pendulum of religious preference swung back towards Catholicism. The fervor of her faith earned her the nickname Bloody Mary, a moniker that hinted at the religious persecution that defined her reign. Elizabeth, though a Protestant, maintained a careful neutrality, attending Catholic Mass, yet not fully committing to the faith. However, Mary's suspicion of her half-sister grew, culminating in Elizabeth's imprisonment in the Tower of London. The charge, conspiracy to seize the throne. However, the evidence was flimsy, and Elizabeth was eventually released, though she remained under house arrest. The years rolled on, and with them, the health of Queen Mary deteriorated. Childless and with no direct heir, Mary's death in November of 1558 led to the ascension of Elizabeth to the throne. The 25-year-old Elizabeth, having lived through the reigns of her half-siblings, their religious turmoil, and her own imprisonment, was now Queen of England. Elizabeth's ascension wasn't merely a change of monarch. It was a shift in the religious landscape of England, a return to Protestantism, and an end to the religious persecution that had marked the previous reigns. Elizabeth was determined to bring about a more tolerant era, one that would allow her subjects to worship as they chose. From prisoner to queen, Elizabeth's ascension to the throne marked the beginning of a new era, an era that we'll delve into further as we continue exploring the life and reign of Elizabeth I. How does a woman rule in a man's world? For Elizabeth, it was with a keen mind, a firm hand, and an unwed status. Elizabeth I, the second daughter of King Henry VIII, was a woman of great strength and intellect. While monarchs typically married and bore children to secure their lineage, Elizabeth chose a different path. She remained unmarried and childless, a decision that was both deeply personal and politically motivated. This choice earned her the nickname the Virgin Queen, a moniker that would come to define both her persona and her reign. Elizabeth's decision to remain unmarried was not made lightly. In a world where marriage was often a political tool, her choice was seen as a bold and strategic move. By remaining single, she retained full control of her throne, avoiding the risk of a power shift that might come with a husband. Her unwed status also allowed her to use the prospect of marriage as a diplomatic tool, keeping foreign powers at bay with the allure of a potential alliance. Her reign, which spanned over 4 decades, was marked by astute governance. Elizabeth was known for her diplomatic skills, which she used to navigate the complex political landscape of the time. She managed to maintain a delicate balance of power, keeping England relatively peaceful despite the religious tensions that threatened to tear the country apart. A Protestant herself, Elizabeth was faced with the challenge of religious division within her kingdom. Catholics and Protestants were constantly at odds, and the potential for religious war loomed large. However, Elizabeth's pragmatic approach to religion helped to ease tensions. She promoted a policy of religious tolerance, allowing her subjects to practice their faith privately as long as they publicly conformed to the Church of England. This approach helped to maintain stability and prevented large-scale religious conflict. One of the most significant achievements of Elizabeth's reign was the defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588. This victory not only showcased England's naval prowess, but also cemented Elizabeth's status as a powerful and capable leader. The defeat of the Armada was a turning point for England, marking the beginning of its rise as a global power. Elizabeth's reign was not without its challenges. She faced numerous plots and rebellions, navigated tricky diplomatic waters, and dealt with economic instability. Yet, through it all, she remained a steadfast leader, guiding her country with a firm hand and a sharp mind. Elizabeth's reign was a testament to her strength and intelligence. She navigated through political and religious strife, leading her country into what is now known as the Elizabethan era. Her decisions, her diplomacy, and her determination have left an indelible mark on history, making her one of the most influential and celebrated monarchs of all time. What happens when a queen's reign ends? For Elizabeth, her legacy was only beginning. In 1603, the world bid farewell to Queen Elizabeth. With her passing, the illustrious Tudor dynasty drew to a close. Yet, the end of her reign marked not an end, but a new beginning, a beginning of an enduring legacy that would reverberate through the annals of history. Elizabeth's reign created ripples that turned into waves of transformation, forever altering the cultural and political landscapes of England. The period of her rule, fondly remembered as the Elizabethan era, saw an unprecedented flourishing of arts and literature. It was a golden age for English drama, with playwrights like William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe penning masterpieces that continue to captivate us even after 4 centuries. But her influence was not confined to the realm of arts. Under her astute leadership, England emerged as one of the world's most formidable powers. She navigated through the treacherous waters of international politics with an unerring compass, leading England to triumph against the mighty Spanish Armada. This victory was a turning point, marking England's rise as a global naval power. Yet, Elizabeth's legacy extends beyond these accomplishments. She is remembered as a queen who ruled not by divine right, but by the people's love. Her rule was characterized by a deep understanding of her subjects, an approach that endeared her to the masses and fostered a sense of national unity. The impact of Elizabeth's reign is not confined to dusty history books or grandiose monuments. It lives on in the spirit of the English nation, in the resilience and creativity of its people, and in the enduring influence of England on the world stage. Elizabeth's life was a series of triumphs and trials. She remains one of history's most influential rulers, her legacy continuing to shape our world today. So who was Elizabeth really? Born to royal lineage, she was a child of destiny from the beginning. Her early years, though marred by political strife, shaped her into a future queen of resilience and grace. Elizabeth's ascension to the throne, a story of triumph over adversity, is a testament to her indomitable spirit and shrewd political acumen. As a queen, she was more than just a figurehead. Elizabeth embodied the essence of a true leader, steering the kingdom through turbulent times with her unwavering resolve. Her reign, often referred to as the Elizabethan era, was a golden age of exploration, literature, and the arts. Elizabeth's legacy is far-reaching and enduring. She left her indelible mark not just on the pages of history, but also on the hearts of her subjects. Her life was a tapestry of courage, wisdom, and unwavering dedication to her people. Elizabeth's life was far from ordinary. She turned every challenge into an opportunity, creating a legacy that still resonates today. Truly, she was a queen who ruled not just a kingdom, but also the hearts of her people.